Right, here at Chinchilla for the 2023 Grandfather Clock Camp Draft, but catching up with Pete Comiskey firstly. Pete, welcome back.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Beautiful part of the world here in Chinchilla. It is a little bit dry and dusty, but still it's terrific to have a huge draft like they have here.
Yeah, no, it's second leg of the Triple Crown. Huge committee here at Chinchilla, put on a magnificent show. There's some beautiful cattle here, Knutsen's cattle today, and obviously they're sponsored Restricted Open, but Grandfather Clock. Ladies Camp Draft, novice competition, plenty to come over the next 4 or 5 days.
It is, and it's a big concern, and you said there before about the Knutsens. I interviewed Jackie just there before. Year in, year out, they rotate it, but they just donate for this Restricted Open. Huge competitors themselves. Jackie, she didn't tell me a little bit of a lot of her achievements until afterwards, but that's one of the great things I think about it. Yeah, people talk about the game. I was going to say the industry, but the sport and the game is what it is. Everyone loves it. No one sort of big notes themselves. They all love it and want to get promote it out and get it out there.
Yeah, for sure. Those people are third generation camp drafters. I mean, Hans Knutsen, he was the grandfather and started Chinchilla, and obviously when camp drafting took off, and then son Wayne took over, and now the boys and of course the daughter-in-laws are carrying out the tradition. So I think it'll be many generations, and already their kids are very successful and very good at what they do. So it's wonderful.
Pete wasn't real keen on interviews last year. Ken's less keen. He made sure that I went and interviewed Jackie. Right, yourself, I got one of your runs earlier on. I didn't actually hear the score. I think it was about 86, 87, your last run.
Last run 88, on Roy, and then I got a 91 earlier on Jimmy, so get another go, and I've got one more go to come late this afternoon, so still in there with a bit of a chance.
They seem to be running pretty fair. They might have been the first dozen or so were a little bit quiet, but since then they've been pretty fair right through.
Yeah, I know, they're always beautiful lines of cattle here, and it's really soft, really nice ground to ride on, good cutout yard to cut out of, and everyone gets a fair go. Change the cattle every 50, I think it's there's a bit of breeze around. Weather's beautiful. We could be blessed with what we've done. We've come from Condamine the same. We've had a week of fantastic camp drafting over there. It's just a wonderful week, like combination of it all, and of course on to Warwick next week. So for the 3 weeks at the moment, there's not much work getting on back on the stations.
How'd you get on last week?
We got a place in the low place in the Open, and Bryony got beaten by 1 point in the novice draft on the last day. We had a very good. We had 3 in the final of the Bell, and we had a fantastic show over there. It was really good. Couldn't have been better.
Right, we're out here at the back. I could talk to you all day about a lot of things. Plenty happens out here out the back, and I wanted to sort of get an understanding, I suppose, as to what happens. From what I see, some people sort of tune horses up. Other people are out here. They might not even be competing today. What actually does happen out the back of the draft?
I think most of out the back in the preparation, the 20 minutes or the half an hour before the round is more mental preparation, So there's some horses that need some riding down, energy's down, some that need a little bit of energy lifting up, but most of that preparation is just through what they're, looking themselves. They keep glancing over there at where the cows are running, how fast they're going, what's got to happen, how the course is, what the judge is looking for. And a lot of it's a bit of encouragement as well, someone will say, I find this, or I like the lighter coloured ones, or I'm taking the bigger, stronger ones, or so on and so on. So there's a lot of camaraderie amongst it all, and most of it, there'd be 99% of it as well is very positive, So some people are a little bit nervous on a big occasion like this, come from the little place, come and they're out first time out on the stage at Chinchilla, So a lot of that is, people helping them out and, giving them some confidence to be able to go over there. And it's just like another camp draft. You cut a steer out and put him around 2 pegs and through the gate. So, and there's a few laughs here as well, We'll give someone a bit of cheek about the horse bucking with him last weekend and so on and so on, So there's a little bit of banter goes on, and we like all that part of it, sort of thing, It's a good sport,
One of the great things I like, very rarely there'll be someone standing by themselves, because they might. The next beast goes through, when everyone goes out there to collect it, brings it back through. She won't be on her own, or he won't be on his own next time.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing with camp drafting. Very positive, like people always, sometimes you go out there and you make a bit of a hash of it or whatever, and you just need that little minute to yourself, but you don't get many minutes. There's always somebody to come over and say, oh, you did a stupid thing there, or you did this or that, and a bit of laugh, you laugh it off and go back and catch your next horse. That's all you can do, it's just part of it, isn't it?
From what I've seen, when you need a bit of time by yourself, would be the last time you'd be on your own. I reckon there'd be enough blokes running up alongside you just a reminder of what you might have done.
That's exactly right. I get reminded pretty much of what you do right and what you do wrong. But anyway, that's how it is. And we have a lot of fun while we're doing it.
When you're in this backyard and, like I said, you're either getting ready, or you might have a horse for the next day or whatever, you're watching the cattle. Do you watch the cattle, or do you watch the whole run? Like, do you watch a person putting it around, or you just take into account how the cows are running, if you like?
Yeah, more on the stock, like on how they're running and how speed and that sort of stuff, and then how you've got to chase them. Some steers you've got to get around them, some they're, speedier. Sometimes you're going to spend more in the time in the yard controlling the steer. Sometimes, with energies, and especially the conditions at the moment, with the dry weather, and, some of the steers are a little bit lighter and that sort of stuff, so the less you can, if you can just give them control, a couple of turns in the cutout, the more speed you're going to get outside. So there's a lot of things to come into it all right.
And that gets you a better score?
Absolutely. It's more speed, the more control, the bigger the score, yeah.
Does the judge take into account that, what you just said then, like just get them out of the yard as quick as you can, or out of the camp as quick as you can?
Well, you judge both ways. So, if you give him, 3 or 4 really good hits in the yard, you're 23 or 24, or if you only give him a turn and a half in the yard, you're 21. So it's a point, it's a risk you've got to take on that.
Yep.
And that's what the judge does, and then, but outside then you might be 64 or 65, where the guy gives him too much, only 61 or 60 sort of thing, so, and that's where the judges, that's their job. The slower it gets back slow and nice and controlled, but slow, at 60, 61, where the faster and more speed and that sort of stuff, 64, 5, 6 sort of thing,
There is so much more in it, and that's what I asked you, if we could do one out the back here and just sort of, as same with Ben, I did Ben's out the back of the camp, and we're lucky enough that Jay had a run, so we were able to talk through her run and then break that down a little bit, and that's what I'm trying to do, is actually explain to people, because you go out here and you watch some people, they just walk around, or look like they just walk around, but they're actually doing a little bit more than that. And I would imagine sometimes with some people, not yourself or Ben and those guys, but calming their own nerves instead of sitting around just watching everyone else compete and not being on the horse would be a good way just to calm their own nerves.
That's for sure. Yeah. There's a lot in it, and especially that first round. The first run, there's nerves and there's a lot of build-up to it. You've got to, have someone looking after the property home, and have the, some of these people are away for, 25, 30 days, come from the territory. There's some people here that had 4 and 5 days drive to get here before they started last week, and it's going to be the same next week, and they drive home from Warwick, so there's a lot of preparation put into it, so there's a bit of nerves and a bit of, and everyone's sort of wishing them well as well, so there's a bit of peer pressure on as well to go well, so well, that's got to be juggled, and everyone deals with that differently, I suppose, No,
absolutely, Pete, thank you. Really do appreciate it. Do you get nerves?
I used to get very nervous, I suppose, as a career, but I don't, not so much now. No, sometimes I'm looking for a bit of nerve, actually, at times, because, we probably had this discussion before, but it's getting the properties and everything ready to go away, and having the time away from your properties is always a little bit of, it takes a few days to get, into the camp draft focus, if that makes sense, You're sort of still thinking about the jobs that should have been done at home, and then running into your friends and that sort of stuff, so, to answer your question, no, probably not as nervous as I should be, probably.
Is that a good sign? Like, just on the nerves, like you said there, you did get nervous. Like, do you reckon it's a good sign that people have nerves? Because officially, nerves care. I mean, you care. That's what you're worried about, your result. That's why you are getting nervous.
Absolutely. No, I think if you can get some, it also picks up your act too. Like if you're getting a little nervous, you'll getting cut out properly, and you'll get your horse warmed up properly, and the whole job seems to fall into place. Then, no, for sure.
It does indeed. I actually, you and I, when you were saying that before, we had this conversation. I remember doing it at Springshaw, and we did one of the wraps one night, and you were saying to us how you did went and done a training day at Northern Territory, and you were telling all the young blokes, what you have to do and how to do and you went and got the whip in the yard. Like, I mean, it is such a humbling sport, the way it can work, isn't it?
Absolutely. No, it can bring you back. 1 minute, you're at the dust, and next thing it can all change around, and the right cow can take you from having a bad couple of days to jumping up in the lead of the rounds as well, so it's one of those humbling sports, all right, there's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, Pete, thank you. Really appreciate it. A bit of time and the little bit of insight, and good luck over the weekend. Hopefully I'm interviewing you on Saturday, mate, after a big win.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.